Now, EA just dropped their first patch of College Football 26. We're going to go through this bad boy. Patches are huge because they essentially are a way for EA to change the game mid-year. I can't tell you how much games have changed over the years while we're midway through, a couple months in, whatever it might be, and the gameplay just entirely changes, whether it's them fixing bugs, them adding new plays, new features, whatever it might be. These have a massive impact. And not everything that changes in the game is always listed inside of here, which are the Campus Huddle notes. So let's get into it. Hey there, college fans. Welcome to Campus Huddle. We're kicking off the season with our first title update. So when I say patch, that means title update. Our goal this year is to give you a full breakdown of each title update a day before it launches. So that was a couple days ago, 2 days early this time. But the patch came out today. So let's get into it. We're a gameplay-focused channel. We will talk about some of the other things. Gameplay-wise, though, first thing is that they fixed an issue where play art remained visible after the snap when using home field advantage. So the way this bug worked was that whether you were on the road or at home, or even sometimes, this would happen in cut as well, sometimes your play art would just bug to where you'd see the play art mid-play and it wouldn't even always represent the exact play that you called. So like we were to go to something like PA Read right here, and I show my play art and then I make some hot routes or whatever, like this play art would show on the field during the snap, which was just very, it wasn't very fun to deal with. It was not very fun to deal with. Nice click on, ooh, almost a click on ag, almost. And so while that is not a game-breaking thing, that's definitely a nice quality of life bug that they have fixed here. And as far as I can tell so far, it seems like this is actually patched. And from everything, like, I've watched a lot of streams today, I've played some games. It does seem like this is actually, you know, taken care of, which is good to see. Let's pick up that first down. Possession catch. Move them. This next one's kind of funny. Fixed a rare issue causing a player to freeze in place during hit stick attempts. I'll be honest, I did not see this bug come up at all, but I'm happy that it is fixed. But the next one we're going to talk about, fixed an issue preventing stunts and twists from activating properly when selecting from the play call menu in online games. And I can 100% attest that this is fixed. So let me kind of paint the picture of what this is addressing. Before, if you wanted to stunt your defensive line in an online game, you had to press left on the D-pad, right bumper to open up stunts, and you'd select from here. And if you wanted to go more stunts, you'd have to go left or right on the D-pad again to be able to open up these different stunts right here, okay? This was very annoying to do in an online game. It's something you could do, and like, you could definitely, you know, get it down and all that. Ooh. But it just wasn't the most optimal thing. It was annoying to do. Now, when you go to select a play, if you hold down the play icon, so I'm going to select Tampa 2 right here, we're going to hold down Y or triangle. Now, still holding it down, I can use the left stick or the D-pad to select one of these stunts. And for reference, you can go all the way to the top. It'll auto-scroll you down if you just like click down, or you know what I mean? So you can do that. So right here, I want to go Texas 4-man. We let go now of Y or triangle, select our offensive play, and you'll see we have the Texas 4-man selected here at the play call screen, or at the line of scrimmage. This is a big deal. It's just going to make calling stunts easier, make it more accessible to more people. And I do think this is going to make people more likely to test out different stunts and see what stunts are the best. This is a massive quality of life thing that they have gotten fixed. It was just a bug that was in the game at release, and it is fixed. I would assume that being fixed here in college football also means it should work properly in Madden. I'm assuming that. I don't know it. And a quick break from the updates. We are ending our College Football 26 launch sale here today. I'm probably going to let it run into the early hours of Friday morning to just let anybody who wants to get it at the last moment get that. This is 40% off, and you unlock everything we're doing. You could join over 2,000 active members who are actually winning more games with our offensive and defensive schemes. 40% off unlocks everything you need. All of our offensive plays, all of our defensive plays, our community, and you'll get everything for the next, you'll have access to everything for the next year. Link to that is in the top of the description, and you'll just use code COLLEGE40. Again, that 40% off is ending tonight. Really, it's going to be like in the early hours of Friday morning. Make sure if you want to win more games, you take advantage of that. And now let's get back to the video. Another great one here, fixed an issue sometimes preventing a catch animation from playing when clicking on and taking control of a wide receiver during the route. So this is not an issue that I personally had a ton of problems with, but I am a big fan of what they're doing, which essentially it appears that this is targeting the idea of clicking onto your wide receivers when the ball is in the air. And I think this is actually one of the biggest skill gap things you can have in the game. So this is a cool thing that they're giving us. They appear to be trying to give us more ability to do this. So again, they fixed an issue preventing a catch animation playing when clicking on and taking control of a wide receiver on a route. So clicking on is when the ball's in the air, and we're going to press B or circle on PlayStation to take control of this wide receiver. Look at, I'm not going to even try saying that name. I'm going to butcher it. I apologize. But look, if I press nothing right here, I don't tap. Nice. If I don't tap B or circle right here, I'm not going to take control of this guy ever. Right? I don't take control of him at any point. I never do. This time, I'm going to tap B or circle when the ball's in the air. And look what I'm able to do with RB. I'm able to move him around, and I can now attack that football. This is really important. We talk about this in a lot of our tip videos, actually. This is massive for when you're trying to cut the ball off in tight coverage, right? Something like that. You can help adjust to a bad ball. That time we just overthrew it, but you get kind of the idea. This is really, like, this is a massive skill gap right here, and I'm glad that they did a bigger, they're making it a bigger focal point to be able to make it easier and less, like, bad animations. Because it is something that I guess would happen to me sometimes now that I think about it, where I would click onto a guy and the ball would, like, go over his head, and I'm like, dude, I'm right there. I can catch that. Even right there, like, we're getting up for that animation. It's out of bounds because it's a bad throw from our quarterback who isn't great. Warner. Is there a world where this is Kurt Warner's kid? Is there a world where this Fresno QB is Kurt Warner's kid? I think it is. I might be making that up, but now I actually think it is his kid. Is it? I don't know, but I think it definitely might be. But this is the idea. And then to go attack the ball, you're going to hold the left stick in the direction you want to run with the wide receiver. You could run the wrong way. Right here, you see me run the wrong way. So keep that in mind. Left stick's a big deal. And then I usually aggressive catch it, wire triangle. Also, fun fact. EJ, or Elijah Warner, is Kurt Warner's kid. He played for the Rice Owls and Temple Owls. Wow, both Owls. And now he plays for Fresno State Bulldogs. Huh, interesting. Variety of tuning and animation improvements to physics-based tackling. This seems like something that's just like, cool. I don't really think I had any issues with it, but cool. Variety of game stability improvements. Okay, we're going to touch on that in a moment. And fixed an issue causing blockers on power O plays to sometimes take their initial movement in the wrong direction. This is just a nice quality of life thing for anybody who calls a lot of power O's. I've seen different things like this where it's happened to like traps and power O's as well. So I'm hoping that just like entirely fixes those where the pulling guards like pull the wrong way, which can be kind of frustrating. But let's talk more about this variety of game stability improvements because it's kind of vague. Now, the one that comes to mind with this is dropped interceptions is something that people have talked about a lot where like there's a lot of wide open drops. And so it's something during my gameplay, I was curious like, hey, does it seem like we're dropping more interceptions? Because that could definitely be part of the stability and gameplay tuning stuff, right? I don't believe they have touched interceptions at all. I think there's a lot of interceptions like this, or a lot of drop picks like this right here still, where we go to a play like this. I'm playing online here. We are Georgia against Oregon, and we just dropped this interception. Pretty much, it's pretty much just like a straight up drop. If we watch, I think they have a replay here. It's a pretty uncontested drop. And so, again, that's not a massive sample size. I've had a couple others like this too, but it's only been a day. But just from this, it leads me to believe that this is still an issue. And it goes back to the idea where it's the issue that people have, especially like online, like comp guys you'll hear have, isn't, it's wide open drops. It's like drops like that people don't love. With that being said, are there counter arguments to it? Sure. But there's some that people thought might get touched in the patch. Does not appear that it's part of the gameplay stability and like tuning stuff. Now, if we go here to Dynasty, you'll see they reduce the chance of rain in the Dynasty Road to Glory games. I know a lot of people said there was a lot of rain. There was cold weather and snow could occur in warm weather climates. That's funny. A few other things here. I do want to mention really fast that position changes. You can now change players' position within with their current position group without penalty to skill caps. So that's good. What I want to mention here is a lot of people get scared to like move players around because they get overall hits. And that I would not care about. I would not care at all if a player's overall goes down 4 or 5 even, if you're switching them positions, if it makes sense, right? If that player is just, he has badges, he has the ratings you care about. A lot of times you'll see the overall goes down, but necessarily the ratings don't. And sometimes the overalls can be misleading in this game. And just something to genuinely try keeping in mind here. Leaderboard campaigns are a new limited time competitions tied to specific programs. Nice. Event lineup builder challenges. Cool. We get to see more live event stuff. Cool. Just live event stuff. And then a few different presentation changes as well right here. Texas State cannon touchdown celebration was in the wrong location. Dang. Huh. Nice. With that being said, not a ton of game-breaking patch changes here. Keep in mind that when they submit patches like this, a lot of these have to get submitted a few weeks in advance. So I would assume for any kind of major like glaring issues that you do see with the game that's kind of developed post launch. I would expect those types of things just based on previous years. I don't have any insider knowledge on this. I wish I did, but I don't. I would expect that to be in whatever the next title update is within the next 2 to 6 weeks. I don't know what that time frame is. I could see it being as early as 2 weeks. I could also see it being a little over a month away. I just don't 100% know. But that is a breakdown of the patch today in College Football 26.